What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are doing another episode. This time, the Boston Red Sox. We did the Baltimore Orioles in the last episode. Didn't go as good as we hoped. Now we're going to be doing another team in the AL East, the Boston Red Sox. Now, this is a team that made some moves. They got Tyler O'Neill, former Cardinal. Really couldn't stay healthy. He's really been playing well for them. I think he has like 11 home runs already, and he's just smoking the ball right now. He's been incredible for them. Another guy the Cardinals trade away, which I ain't really mad about Tyler O'Neill getting traded just because, like I said, he couldn't stay healthy. Let's take a look at this roster. You got Tanner Huck, going to be their ace. Coming off a little bit of a down year, had two good seasons before that. Cutter Crawford, a guy who really had a good year last year, 4.04 ERA. Nick Pivetta, who's been solid for them, former Philly. Garrett Whitlock, another guy they hope to have high hopes for, who really had two good seasons prior to last season. ERA went up a lot last season, so hopefully he can bounce back for us. And then you have Brian Bello, another guy who's only 24. They're really high on as well. So that's some solid numbers. Hopefully he can continue to improve. So the rotations is really not a weak link to this team. They tried to sign, Lucas Giolito, who's really been struggling the last few years. I think he'd have Tommy John, pretty sure. So that contract's not looking good so far. Maybe next year he'll make the final year of it worth it. And then they don't really have any like top pitching prospects. That's something we got to look to improve on. Bullpen, we got Bernardino, 32 years old, lefty. Really had a good year last year, 3.20 ERA. Chris Martin, the veteran, really had an excellent year last year, 1.05 ERA. Justin Slayton, a Rule 5 pickup. Lucas Legge, who was with the Yankees. And then you have Chase Anderson, the veteran. And then you have Kenley Jansen and Liam Hendriks in the closer spots. Kenley, we all know how good he's been throughout his career, one of the best closers of all time. And then Liam Hendriks, another guy who's had a remarkable story trying to get back into baseball. I'm pretty sure he had cancer, so if I'm not correct on that, please correct me. Catcher, they got Connor Wong, who's been really a steady hand for them. Not impressive offensively, but maybe he starts to hit more. And they got Reese McGuire, Roberto Perez, and then Kyle Teal, who's a top prospect, 22 years old, beat potential. Tristan Casas, their first baseman, he's going to be a stud coming off a 24 home run season. We hope he can be a big part of our lineup. Garrett Cooper, who they got from the Cubs, and you got Dominic Smith. Again, no top first base prospect, but they got Tristan Casas. They don't really need a prospect. Second base, definitely going to be something to look at. Really, Emmanuel Valdez is the only really good second baseman we got. I mean, Nick York could be something, but probably not in time for this franchise. Third base, we're good. We got Rafael Devers and Bobby Dahlbeck, who's really been struggling the last few years. Maybe he can bounce back and help us out. And then you got Trevor Story at shortstop. Sucks he got injured as well. Really hasn't played too well for the Red Sox, but he just had trouble staying healthy. And then Vaughn Grissom, they got in the Chris Sale deal. Could be very good for them as well. And then Marcelo Mayer, really good prospect. Could use him in a trade maybe down the line, or maybe he breaks camp or breaks the roster. And you got Yoshida, who they signed from Japan, really reliable outfielder last year. Jaron Duran, another guy they have high hopes for as well. So they got a good mix of outfielders. They got Rafaela, Ramon Anthony's only 19, beat potential. And then we talked about Tyler O'Neill and then Wilyer Abreu, another young guy they have on the roster. Had a good year last year, so they have a good mix of veterans, young players. They've also had some unlucky injuries. But I think this team could, I could work with this team. I could get this team, it might take a few moves. I think the rotation's really steady. The bullpen, like in almost every bullpen in this game, needs some work. But other than that, I think this is a pretty solid team. They got some pieces like Tyler O'Neill and Devers and Tristan Casas. You can build around those guys and see where you go from there. I think this team could be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this first season underway, and we'll see how it goes. Just a little trade we're going to do. We got offered Bryce Wilson, who's only 26, for Lucas Legge, who's 37, really in AAA. And I have a bad number, but his overall's already declined, so we're going to go ahead and make this trade. Second baseman. Our current second baseman, Emmanuel Valdez, wasn't really playing too well. He got injured, had a fractured hand out 1 or 2 months. So we need second base held bad. Obviously, we could put Trevor Story at second base and have Grisham play short, which we're doing lately. But Trevor Story isn't having a bad year, and neither is Vaughn Grisham. But we need to get second base, filled out. So we're going to trade Vaughn Grisham, who's only 23. But, we got Trevor Story. Who knows how long we're going to keep him. He's signed for 5 more seasons. We'll see how he performs. We also got Marcelo Mayer in the minor leagues. So, we got some depth at shortstop. And we're also going to give them a starting pitcher who's 24. See potential. Brian Mata, who's really having a solid year in AAA. We're going to get Ezekiel Duran, who can play everywhere. 79 overall, only 24. We got him signed for the rest of the franchise. I like this trade a lot. This trade deadline, we're sitting in second place. The Rays are 63 and 44. We're a game back at 62 and 45. The Blue Jays are 5 games back. The Yankees are in last place, which I did not expect. Let's see how everybody's been performing and why we've been really exceeding expectations. Wilyer Abreu's been really good for us. Bright spot, right fielder. 8 home runs, 47 RBIs, hitting 308. Ezekiel Duran's been solid so far. Not a power guy, but he's hitting 284, slugging about where he was last year, so good to see. Yoshida's having, a better year than he did all last year in less games. 15 home runs, 53 RBIs, 314 average. Good year for him. Rafael Devers, 24 home runs, 58 RBIs. Can't be mad at that. Tristan Casas, 27 home runs at the trade deadline. So he's probably going to finish with at least 40 if he stays hot in the second half. 261 average, slugging over 500. Tyler O'Neill's been great, 22 home runs, 67 RBIs, 287 average. We're going to try to sign him to a contract extension. Connor Wong's been solid, 11 home runs, 54 RBIs, 260 average. Trevor Story, not hitting for much power, but not a bad year overall for Trevor. And then Jarren Duran's really battled some injuries, but he's hitting 293. Slugging's pretty good, on base is good. And we look at the bench, Rami Gonzalez, who we called up due to the injury. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. He's hitting 400. Really contributed in limited at-bats. Garrett Cooper has not hit so far for us. Rafaela, 8 home runs, which is a pleasant surprise, especially for a guy with not much power. But other than that, not much to be excited about. And then Reese McGuire in limited at-bats, hitting 310. So our lineup's been pretty good for the most part. I mean, got a lot of guys hitting and exceeding expectations. Let's take a look at the rotation. We did have an injury. Nick Pivetta, shoulder tear. He was having a really good year. Out 1 to 2 months, 11 and 5, 3.18 ERA. So that's a huge loss for our rotation heading into the second half. Let's see how everybody else has been doing. Tanner Huck has been awesome. 11 and 3, 2.49 ERA, 103 strikeouts. Great to see for an ace. I mean, he's our ace right now, no doubt. Cutter Crawford's another guy having a great year. No, not sure how his overall is dropping. I know I say that every video, but I still don't understand that. 13 and 3 record, 3.12 ERA. We ended up calling up Josh Winkowski. Lucas Giolito was having a horrible year. I think he had an ERA of like 7. We had to send him down. We'll see how Josh Winkowski does in Nick Pivetta's absence unless we make a trade. Garrett Whitlock's been good as well, 7 and 10, 3.79 ERA, 101 strikeouts in 118 innings. And then Brian Bello, not been great. I mean, 5.16 ERA. He did battle an injury, so maybe he's getting healthy in the second half. Chase Anderson's been lights out. I mean, even though his overall is declining, very fast, 0.91 ERA. Bryce Wilson, not great, who we got from the Brewers. Not great at all. Justin Slayton, our Rule 5 pick's not been great either. Chris Martin's been lights out. I mean, a 1.71 ERA. Sheesh. Brennan Bernardino's been great as well, 2.29 ERA. Liam Hendricks, ERA, not horrible, not great, but not horrible. ERA under 4, 3.99. And then this is a guy we picked up in free agency, Floyd Adleon, ERA of 2. He's 26 years old, only D potential, but I saw he was a free agent. He had some bullpen help, so I ended up signing him, and he's been really good for us so far. And then Kenley's been doing Kenley things, 3.03 ERA, 32 saves, 6 blown saves for Kenley, which is unusual, especially this early in the year. But like I said, one of the best closers of all time. Unfortunately, his overall is probably going to keep declining. So when you look at our team, really not a lot of weak spots. The bullpen could use a little help. But let me see if I can sign Tyler O'Neill to an extension because we need to keep this guy around. So I'm going to give Tyler O'Neill a 4-year, $56 million. So I'm okay with that because he's having a really good year. So we're paying him $14 million until 2029. So he'll be about 34, 33 when that's up. So, I mean, that's not really a bad deal at all for Tyler O'Neill. Let's take a look at the trade block, see if there's anybody on there that could help us in the bullpen. We got Wandy Peralta, who's having a good year. Could get Tony Gosselin, to help fill out that spot. He's having a really good year in AAA. Let's see. Hobie Milner would also be another guy who could help out. He's 33. We did get offered Pete Crow Armstrong for Tyler O'Neill. I was tempted, but we were playing well. If we weren't playing well, I probably wouldn't have accepted that trade. But Lane Thomas could help out our offense, but he's out with a fractured foot for 1 to 2 more weeks. Not really seeing a lot of relief options on this trade block. We could get an Austin Voss, but he's 67 overall. Not really going to do much for us there. Scott Alexander's having a good year, but he's only a 70 overall. Kendall Graveman, who's in AAA. Josh Stamont would be a guy who could help out. Scott Barlow, I usually get. This guy's always been good in franchise mode, but I don't want to. I always try not to get the same players. I feel like that really kind of like ruins if you just keep getting the same players in every franchise. Luke Weaver. Would the Yankees and Red Sox make a trade? I don't know. I don't know if that would happen. So, not really seeing a lot of options. Like I said, our bullpen hasn't played horrible. There's a few guys that have been bad, like Bryce Wilson, Justin Slayton, but everybody else has been pretty good. I might just ride the wave with this team and just see where we finish. Because I mean, everybody's playing well, besides maybe 1 or 2 players. I don't want to be that lazy GM who just thinks, oh, well, we're playing well, so let's just rest on our laurels. But I mean, we're playing well. We got one of our starters out. We upgraded second base, which we need to do. Our offense looks pretty good for the most part. Yeah, I'm going to keep this team and see where we finish. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt. We're about to find out. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So first season is in the books, and what a season we had. 95 wins and 67 losses. I did not expect this team to play that well. I'm sure a lot of us didn't, but a pleasant surprise. We ended up winning some awards. Tanner Huck led the league in ERA, winning percentage. Cutter Crawford led the league in wins. Kenley led the league in saves, and Tanner Huck led the league in whips. So a lot of good pitching for this team, and that's great to see. Tanner Huck won the Cy Young Award and AL Rookie of the Year, Wilyer Abreu. So a lot of guys really just had a great year. Let's see how they all did before we get this first postseason underway. How about Wilyer Abreu, though? 14 home runs, 66 RBIs, 305 average, slugged 485. Very pleasant surprise and definitely could be our future in right field. Then we got Ezekiel Duran, had a great year. 15 home runs, 62 RBIs, about where he was last year. Numbers up a little bit besides the slugging. Yoshida had a career year, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs, 271 average. Numbers are about going to be where they're going to be. Rafael Devers, another great year. RBI's a little down, but still a great year. He's battling an injury, too. Still played 144 games. Tristan Casas ended up finishing with 31 home runs. I think he only hit like 4 in the second half, so definitely a little bit of a down second half for him power-wise, but still a great season overall. Tyler O'Neill, he signed an extension, gives us 27 home runs, 94 ribbies, 272 average, slugged over 500. So Tyler O'Neill having a 2021 type season. Connor Wong with a solid campaign in the catcher spot. 16 home runs, 80 RBIs for Connor Wong. Trevor Story, not a great year, not like a horrible year either, just not where he was in 2021 with the Rockies. Jarren Duran, solid year, battled some injuries, but not a bad year overall. And then we look at the bench, Rafaela, 10 home runs. Other than that, not really nothing to be too astonished at. Reese McGuire had a solid year as a backup catcher. Bobby Dahlback hit 280 or 278. So not really horrible. 5 for 18, limited at bats. And then we had Dominic Smith, who didn't play, was raking in AAA, so we ended up calling him up. Let's take a look at the rotation. Tanner Huck, what a year. 18-3, 2.39 ERA. We definitely need him to continue that pace if we're going to try to win a World Series here. And we got Cutter Crawford, another great year for him. Or I shouldn't say another great year. Another great year in our rotation. 19-7, ERA under 3. Can't get much better than that. Nick Pivetta, even though he had the injury later in the season, was excellent. 12-5, 3.01 ERA. Garrett Whitlock was great as well. 9-14, 3.65 ERA. And then we end up having to call back up Lucas Giolito because Brian Bello got hurt. But, I mean, he got his numbers down a little bit. 5.22 ERA. Josh Winkowski, not a great year. Definitely need better numbers than that. Really down year compared to last year. Bryce Wilson ended up having a great second half. Got that ERA all the way down to 3.25. So really good to see him get that down. Justin Slayton got his ERA down as well, 4.40. So our bullpen, really, the guys who were struggling, had better second halves. Chris Martin was remarkable, 2.45 ERA. Brennan Bernardino, 3.49 ERA. His ERA continues to be great. Liam Hendricks, awesome year, 32 holes, 3.21 ERA. Floyd Adleon, for his first season, man, what a great season. 3.24 ERA, 20 holes. And then Kenley had a bad second half, 4.24 ERA. It definitely went up a little bit. Still saved 49 games. 1-6 record though. So Kenley overall, great season for him. So let's get this postseason underway and see if we can make a run here. We're facing the Texas Rangers, Jacob deGrom. We're at Fenway Park. So let's see how we do. Here we go. The Guardians I said the Guardians, the Rangers get on the board, defending champs. Let's see if we can get to deGrom here. It's not going to be easy. So still down 2-0. There's a run scored thanks to Connor Wong, so it's 2-1. Tavares gets picked off. Solo shot by Ezekiel Duran, former Ranger, against his former team. Leadoff double for Ivisil Garcia. Strikeout, 2-run score thanks to Josh Jung. So it's 4-2. And deGrom trying to shut us down. Maybe the last inning for Tanner Huck here. There's a double for Duran, or it was Jared Duran. Okay. 2 Durans in the lineup had me confused for a minute. There's a run score thanks to Yoshida. We tie the game thanks to Rafael Devers. Maybe one more inning out of Tanner. Solo shot by Josh Jung. There's a double by Vaughn Grisham. So time to take him out. Let's bring in Bryce Wilson. 3-run bomb by Nathaniel Lowe. Man, this game is getting out of hand here. Let's bring in Slayton. Man, this game one is not going the way we hoped. That is for sure. It has not been pretty here at Fenway Park. Slayton giving us some innings, saving our bullpen. Let's see if we can get a run here. We don't. Can he give us one more inning? He does. So bottom of the ninth, Kirby Yates in the pitch. We get a run on the board thanks to Abreu, but that's all we're going to get. Connor Wong has a lat muscle strain, so that is not good to see. So let's go to game 2. We got to get this series tied. I mean, this is a must-win for us here at Fenway. We don't want to go down 0-2 in Texas. Cutter Crawford on the mound. Let's see if he can give us a good outing here. Good first inning. Got 2 on. Can we get a run home? We do, thanks to a walk. That's all we get. Rangers tie it up rather quickly. They take a 2-1 lead. So our starting rotation, which is a huge strong suit for us, has really let us down so far in this playoffs. Let's see if we can tie this game up, though. Bases loaded, we don't get anybody home. Cutter Crawford really has thrown a lot of pitches. Matt Manning's been good for the most part. 2-run bomb by Ezekiel Duran. Solo shot by Yoshida. And we take a 4-2 lead. There's a solo shot by Carter. So let's see if we can get some insurance here. So I think we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to bring in Chris Martin here in the 6th inning, 1-2-3 inning. Michael Lorenzen in the pitch. So let's see who we bring in here. We got lefties. We're going to bring in Bernardino. There's a leadoff double, pop up. They tie the game. Bases loaded. We're facing Jonah Heim. We're going to bring in Liam Hendricks, and he gets the fly out. So let's see if we can get this lead back. 2 on, 3-run bomb by Trevor Story, who didn't provide a lot of power. We're going to bring in Adley here. Back-to-back singles, and they tied the game up rather quickly. That is a backbreaker. Man, that is not good. So Luis Garcia in the pitch, bottom of the 8th. Walk, strikeout, single, strikeout, strikeout. So we're looking for Winkowski to give us some good innings here. Josh Shabor's in the pitch. Shuts us down, no, but we cannot get the run home. Solo shot by Tavares. And we're down heading into the bottom of the 10th. Austin Adams in the pitch. There's a single by Duran. Strikeout, double. Tyler O'Neill looking to get us the win. He walks. It's up to Reese McGuire. Let's see if we can pinch hit here. No, we don't have a catcher. I forgot. Yeah, so Reese McGuire wins us the game. And we tie the series 1-1. Reese McGuire, who I was going to pitch hit for. Wow, that is a clutch hit for him. Series tied 1-1 here in Texas. Nick Pivetta on the mound. Let's see if we can get some early runs. We do. Duran's been unbelievable. Yoshida drives him in. And we are in business here in the 1st inning against former Red Sox Evaldi here. So 4-0 right out the gate. Let's send this I'm going to go ahead and just sim the hitting innings, just save us some time. So it's 5-0. Rangers being shut down here. 7-0 Red Sox. 9-0 Red Sox. Wow, we are on fire in this game, taking a charge in this series. 15 hits and 9 runs. Pivetta has been unbelievable in this game, shutting down the defending champs. We're going to go ahead and bring in, I might just let him try to win this for us. Let's see if he can do a double play. Nick Pivetta shuts down the Texas Rangers. I'm going to go ahead and sim game 4. We lose that. So we're going to game 5, do or die game in Boston against the champs. We're going to put Tanner Huck on the mound. Here we go. 1-2-3 first. Jacob deGrom, who shut us down. There's a 2-run bomb by Rafael Devers. Just what we needed from one of our best players. Tanner Huck's been great so far. There's a double for Duran. Bray drives him in, the Rookie of the Year. 2-run bomb by Devers, and it's 5-0 Red Sox. We'll make that 5-1. 6-1 now. And we really took it to DeGrom in this game. Great to see. There's a solo shot by Garcia. Let's go ahead and take Tanner Huck out. He's been awesome in this game. Let's bring in Liam Hendricks here. See if he can shut him down. So we're going to bring in Adeline here. Walk, run scores, sack fly, and a strikeout. So 7-3. We're looking to advance. Kenley Jansen in the pitch, and he shuts them down, and we're going to division series against the Houston Astros in the next round. This ought to be a fun series, facing both Texas teams in the first 2 rounds. So we're going to put Cutter Crawford on the mound. Here we go. Jose Altuve gets them going right away. Solo shot, 2-run score thanks to Diaz, and it's 3-0 Astros in the first inning. Cutter Crawford, not a great start here. Christian Javier on the mound. So he's settling in a little bit. We got to get our offense going here. Another run scores. I think it's time to take Crawford out. Put in Bryce Wilson. There's a walk, single, 3-run bomb by Yoshida, and it's 4-3. So, and let's see if Bryce Wilson can, bases loaded, nobody out, pop up, strikeout, field. What a job by Bryce Wilson there. Leadoff double, sack bunt. So we're going to bring in Slayton, who's been good for the most part, gets us out of it. Single by Yoshida, single by Casas. Tyler O'Neill walks. Connor Wong in with the bases loaded against Justin Verlander. Pop up and a fielder's choice. That is tough. So we're going to go back to the bullpen. We're going to bring in Chris Martin. Gives up a run, another run. Oh, man, 6-3. Justin Verlander walks the first hitter. Let's see if Duran can get him home. He doesn't. And we don't score a run that inning. That is tough. Let's bring in Winkowski to give us some innings. Not a great start. Verlander single. Brian Abreu in the pitch, bottom of the 8th, down 4. 2 runs there by Connor Wong. Trevor Story strikes out, ground out by Duran, walk by Abreu. Dylan Coleman in the pitch, and he gets the ground out. So top of the 9th, we're going to bring in Bernardino to face a few lefties. Not a great start for him. Gives up 2 runs, another run. I probably left him in a little bit too long. And it's 11-5 Astros. Josh Hader in pitch the bottom of the 9th and shuts us down. So not a great game 1. Our pitching really let us down there. So we're still in Boston, game 2. We're going to put in Nick Pivetta, who was excellent in the previous series. Let's see if he can get us the series tied at home. That error doesn't come back to bite us. We got to get a lead early. We haven't had a lead early yet in this series. There's a double by Chas McCormick. Doesn't lead to nothing. Framer Valdez on the mound for the Astros, shutting us down so far. Pavetta's been matching him pitch by pitch, though. So this is looking like a pitcher's duel. I hope I didn't just jinx that. I didn't. Pavetta's matched him. Walk, strikeout, pop up, strikeout. Walk, strikeout, line out, fly out. Okay, Pivetta, okay, let's bring in the bullpen. Bullpen's been used a lot. Let's see, I'm going to bring in Slayton. Single, strikeout, fly. What a job. Bottom of the 8th. Framer Valdez still grooving right now. So let's bring in Winkowski. single, pop up, fly out. Still pitching. They bring in Penn Murphy. Devers strikes out. Single by Casas. Tyler O'Neill drives in the winning run, and we tie the series. So let's go ahead and sim game 3. We lose that 5-7. So we're down 2-1 in the series in Houston. We got to get this series tied. Garrett Whitlock on the mound. Let's see if we can get this series tied. Runner gets thrown out at home. 1, 2, 3. There's a leadoff double by Casas. Can't get him in, though. That is tough. 2 singles, but a strikeout. Our offense just hasn't been great against the Astros. Their pitching has been awesome in this series so far. Let's see if Whitlock can keep going here. He's been great. So is Lance McCullers Jr. here. Our offense just cannot get many hits. But the Astros' offense, besides that first game, has not been great either. So we don't get a run home. Garrett Whitlock, 2 walks in the inning, and I leave him in, and he gets us through. So 7 strong innings for Whitlock. McCullers still in, top of the 8th. So we're going to bring in Adeline here, ground out single. Runner gets thrown out, and they score the go-ahead run. So top of the 9th. And we are, let's see, do we put in a pinch hitter here against, man, I'm going to bring in Dom Smith here. Josh Hader in the pit. We're going to pinch hit again. We're going to bring in Bobby Dahl back here. And he pops up, and they take a 3-1 series lead. That is not good. We are not in a good spot. Our offense has not came through. We needed it in this series besides the Tyler O'Neill. We're in a do-or-die game. Tanner Huck on the mound. Leadoff double. Christian Javier on the mound again. Solo shot by Jordan. So we got 2 on, nobody out. We tie the game tying run. Grand slam by Abreu. And it is 5-1 here as we're looking to get the win. So I'm going to sim the offensive innings to save us some time. Solo shot by Altuve. So it's 5-2. So we got a 3-run lead. Tanner Huck is just having a great game. 7-2 now. So we're still leaving him in. He's been great. Let's see if he can close out this complete game. He does. What a performance by Tanner Huck to keep us alive in the series as we go back to Boston trying to pull off a 3-1 series comeback here. Let's see if we can do it. Cutter Crawford on the mound. Let's see. So the Astros had something going, but they couldn't get anybody home. Neither could we. Cutter Crawford's been up and down in these playoffs. Framber Valdez on the mound again. Both stars have been a little bit of a jam, but both gotten out of it so far. Leadoff single, walk, ground out. There's a leadoff walk, single, fly out, strikeout, line out. Leadoff double by Altuve. They can't get him home. Leadoff triple by Trevor Story. We can't get him home, and we do there thanks to Duran. So it's 1-0 Red Sox. Astros have bases loaded, and they score the tying run. So it's time to bring in the bullpen. We got Jeremy Pena. Let's bring in Chris Martin. He gets out of it. So Chris Martin in the face of a few lefties. He ends up having a little bit of a trouble that inning, but gets out of it. Penn Murphy in the pitch. Keeps us tied here. Let's bring in Liam Hendricks. Fly out, walk, pop up, fly out. Bottom of the 8th. Big bats can't get us going. We're going to bring in Kenley here. It's a gamble this early. And he gives up a run. Kenley is letting us down. No. Another run. So it's 3-1. Josh Hader in the pitch. Strikeout, ground out, and we lose. We officially been eliminated by the Houston Astros. Let's see who wins the World Series. The Braves defeat the Astros. So all in all, a great first season. Didn't end the way we wanted it to. But I got to make some moves in the offseason, so I'll get to it. Trevor Story's owed a lot of money. We're going to try to get a different shortstop. So we're going to trade Trevor Story to the Philadelphia Phillies for Sir Anthony Dominguez. We're trying to get back to the playoffs. Made some moves. Ended up signing Corbin Burns, $19.5 million. The Red Sox have spent a lot of money in the past. So I figured, you know what? We need to replace Nick Pivetta. We needed a true ace. Tanner Huck was awesome, but we needed another guy to pair with him in that top of the rotation besides Cutter Crawford and Garrett Whitlock. So I thought Corbin Burns was a perfect fit. I think he's going to help out our rotation tremendously. We ended up signing Jeff Hoffman to a 1-year deal. Had a bad year last year, so really didn't ask for a lot of money, $3.5 million. Hopefully he could bounce back and get back to 2023. Jeff Hoffman. Jorge Lopez had a great year last year, helps out our bullpen. We keep Liam Hendricks, got him for another year. Hopefully he can bounce back, even though his overall is going to decline. We ended up signing Tanner Scott, and he didn't really ask for a ton of money, $6.5 million per year. Had an awesome year last year. 2.25 ERA, 31 saves. Kenley was getting older. We got younger in the closing spot. And then we signed a shortstop with the money that we traded from Trevor Story, and we got Willie Adames from the Brew Crew, 25 home runs last year. Paying him $9.3 million a year ain't bad at all for Willie Adames. So he adds more power to our lineup. Better defender than Trevor Story at this point. So I think he's a really good addition to this team. Other than that, this team's pretty much the same. We made one starting pitching addition, really revamped his bullpen, a few pieces, and then we added one shortstop to our offense. So I think that's going to be enough to get us back to the playoffs. So we're about to see. Y'all, I'm really tempted to do this trade. It's giving up a lot, but it is Mike Trout. I mean, and you don't get to trade for a guy like Mike Trout very often. I'm thinking about giving up Jarren Duran, who's played well, just not really like impactful. We can't trade him. Roman Anthony, who's playing pretty good in AAA, only 20 years old, center fielder. But listen, we're trying to win. We don't got time to wait on some of these prospects to develop. And Marcelo Meyer, our number one shortstop prospect. We got Willie Adames, who hasn't really played well up to this point. Hopefully he can get it going. But if we get Mike Trout for this offense, I think this really sets us up to win a World Series. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and make this trade. I know it might seem crazy to some of you Red Sox fans. You're giving all that up. Mike Trout is Mike Trout. I know he's 33. He ain't going to start declining until probably this franchise is over. I just think it's too tough of a trade not to do. So I'm going to trade for Mike Trout. It's in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how we did. We end up finishing with 102 wins, better than last year. The Rays were on our tail, 98-64. We end up winning the division in back-to-back seasons. Mike Trout wins the Hank Aaron Award and the MVP. What an acquisition. Excuse my chair in the background. Mike Trout, MVP. What a year he had. 47 home runs, really helped carry us. I was a little, it was a little risky making that trade. We traded away a lot of good prospects, but we're trying to win a World Series, like I said, and it's really paid off so far. Hopefully we can get a World Series this postseason. Garrett Whitlock led the league in WHIP, and Mike Trout led the league in home runs, RBIs, runs, slugging, on base, WAR. Just what a damn season for Mike Trout. Let's see what everybody did before we get the second postseason underway. Yoshida, another good season, 20 home runs, 83 RBIs. Duran improved from last year, 19 home runs now, showing a little bit more pop in the bat. Mike Trout, we've already talked about his monumental season. Rafael Devers hitting behind him, 38 home runs, 103 RBIs. Tristan Casas, 35 home runs. We had 3 guys with 30-plus home runs. Actually, 4 guys. Tyler O'Neill got it on the fun as well. 31 home runs, 83 RBIs. Willie Adames did not hit the way we needed him to. Hopefully he can get going this postseason. Connor Wong had a solid campaign. And Bobby Dahlbeck with 18 home runs, so good to see him bouncing back and making an impact in that DH spot. So power throughout the lineup. And then we see the bench. Rafaela didn't do too much. The Rookie of the Year, Abreu, still had a good year. I think we really need to try to find a way to get him in the lineup. I don't know. It's tough because I don't know if I guess we can put him in DH against righties. And then Dominic Smith had a pretty solid campaign. And then Kyle Teal, our number one catching prospect, had a solid year as well. Corbin Burns was awesome, 15-7, 3.13 ERA. Tanner Huck was good as well, 11-9, 3.12 ERA. Garrett Whitlock was awesome, 16-6, 2.62 ERA. Cutter Crawford, down year for him overall. Not what you want to see. And then Brian Bello with the bounce back year as well, 19-9, 3.78 ERA. Lucas Giolito had a better year. Still high ERA, but that's been around his career the last 4 seasons. Brennan Bernardino had another good year. ERA a little higher, but not bad. Floyd Adeline had a better year, overall dropping. Don't make sense. Justin Slayton had a bad year. Jorge Lopez, not a bad year, but definitely not what he was last year. Tanner Scott got moved out of the closer spot for Jeff Hoffman, who I see why. Well, he was actually he was injured, so it makes a lot of sense. So Anthony Dominguez was in the minor leagues most of the year, just did not get an opportunity, unfortunately. And then Jeff Hoffman, how about his campaign? We ended up signing him to a 1-year extension, by the way, because he was having such a good year. 1.68 ERA, 34 holds. So he was everything we expected in the playoffs. We need these guys to get us a World Series. I will be highly disappointed if we don't win one. We're facing the Kansas City Royals in the first round. Shane Bieber on the mound against Corbin Burns. So it's going to be a pitching matchup to watch here at Fenway Park. Let's see if Corbin Burns can give us an ace-type performance here in Game 1. Solo shot by Duran gets us on the board. He's been really good in the playoffs the last 2 seasons for us. Let's see if he can keep it up here. So far, a good pitching performance by Corbin Burns. Single, strikeout, flyout, walk, 2-run score thanks to Waiters. That is tough. 2-1 solo shot by Connor Wong ties the game, and Mike Trout can't get her home. There's a 1-out double, doesn't lead to nothing. Shane Bieber and Corbin Burns have both been pretty good in this game. Corbin Burns strikes out the side. We can't score. Maybe another inning. Caught stealing. Bottom of the 7th. Carlos Hernandez in the pitch. There's an error. A 3-run bomb by Rafael Devers, and it is 5-2 Red Sox. Can Burns give us a complete game? He does. So good way to start off the series against the Royals. Let's see him Game 2. Ezekiel Duran has a calf injury. We end up sweeping the Royals in the first round. Good way to start off this playoff. Duran's going to be healthy too. Liam Hendricks is healthy, but I mean, I don't know if we really have room for him. So Game 1 at Fenway. Let's see. I'm going to put Corbin Burns on the mound again. He's had a lot of rest. Mason Wynn on the Twins is something to see. So there's a single, pop-up, RBI single by Rafael Devers. Gets us on the board early. Bailey Ober on the mound. So Corbin Burns has been awesome in these playoffs. Hope I didn't just jinx them, and I did. So still 1-1, or not still, but they tied up. There's a solo shot by Ryan Jeffers off of Corbin Burns. Leadoff double by Willie Adames. Single by Abreu. 3-run bomb by Yoshida gets us a 4-2 lead. Corbin Burns, 5 solid innings so far in this game. Buck Farmer on the mound. Can he give us one more inning? He does. So 6 strong innings out of the starting rotation. Ace in Corbin Burns. So got a few left. We're going to bring in Bernardino. Walk, strikeout, run, scores, pop up, and a ground out. Solo shot by Duran. Triple by Mike Trout. Single by Devers. Double by Casas. And we are in business here, 7-3. So top of the 8th, we're going to bring in Jeff Hoffman here to face a few righties. 2-run bomb by Ryan Jefferson. A solo shot by Gavin Sheets. Tanner Scott in to try to get a save here. Leadoff triple by Duran. We get him home thanks to Casas. Let's see if Tanner Scott can close the door. He does. So we win Game 1 against the Twins. Let's sim Game 2. We take that game. So I'm going to see if we can close it out. Let's see. Yoshida out 1 to 2 weeks, so we got to replace him. That's not an injury you want to see. So maybe Pablo Lopez gets added, or Pablo Reyes. So we're going to a Game 7 and against the Twins. This ought to be something here. So we got to auto fix our lineups. I'll see how it's looking in the game. Corbin Burns is probably pretty burnt. We've used him a lot, but he is good to go, so we got to go Corbin Burns. Let's see. Our lineup's looking pretty good. I like it. So here we go. Yoshida is a big loss for us, though, because he's been pretty good in these playoffs. So Joe Ryan on the mound. Let's see if we can get to him here. Corbin Burns gets out of a jam. Single, strikeout, pop-up, single, fielder's choice, leadoff single, fly out, walk, strikeout. What a job by Corbin Burns right there to get out of that jam. Joe Ryan still shutting us down. Solo shot by Juan Soto. Solo shot by Royce Lewis. And it's 2-0 Twins. That is tough. We got to get our offense going. There's a single, strikeout, walk, run, scores thanks to Tyler O'Neill. 2-on, 2-out for Connor Wong, and he pops up. That is tough. So we're going to bring in Jeff Hoffman. Pop up, ground out, walk, fly out. So bottom of the eighth, Justin Topa in the pitch. They're going to bring in Giovanni Moran, and we can't get the game tied. We're going to bring in Tanner Scott to try to keep this game tied. So we got Devers, Casas, and Adames. Fly out, pop up, single, pop up, and our season is over as the Twins eliminate us. We had them up 2-0, 3-1 in the series actually, and we lose 3 straight. That is tough, and the Twins end up winning the World Series. After a comeback like that, they deserve it. Wow. Wow. So we got one more season to try to win this team a World Series with Mike Trout on the roster. Hopefully we can get it done. I'm going to get to work in free agency. Final season underway and really kept this roster the same. I mean, we don't really have a lot of weak points. Obviously the bullpen can maybe use one more move, but I mean, our bullpen performed well for the most part. Like, I think this team's still pretty well set up the way it is. We just gotta perform. And that's going to be the big question mark for this team, whether we can hit in the playoffs and really score runs at will when we need to. But I think we got the team to still win a World Series, hopefully and get it done this final season. Mike Trout ended up getting hurt, broken forearm. We're sitting in first right now, 9 games up. I think we got a comfortable enough cushion to survive to the playoffs. That is a huge, huge loss for our team. I'm going to check out, see what else is on the trade block before we get this final postseason run underway, see if there's anything out there that can really boost us, especially bullpen-wise. Not really seen anything so far. Maybe like a Ryan Thompson. He's having a solid year. Zach Thompson, he's having a really good year, could also help out. Jose Quinheda, I think I'm pronouncing that right, having a really good year. I'm going to see if we can get him. Let's see who they want. They want a third baseman, D potential for him. Emmanuel Valdez and Josh Winkowski. I'll trade him David Hamilton shortstop. So we add to our bullpen. Let's see who's having not really a lot of down years in the bullpen. Like, we traded for bullpen. I just realized we're having a lot of guys having a good year, so this might be tough to send somebody down now. That's tough. We might have to actually make a trade because we have a lot of guys who are performing well. So I'm going to see if we can get rid of Bryce Wilson, even though he's having a good year. So let's see if there's anything out there. I'm going to trade him with the Giants for Huey Tier. I think I just botched that so bad. But we trade Bryce Wilson. Looks like we need to fix our rotations. You guys know how it is sometimes with the injuries. So we add Jose Quinheda to our bullpen, having a really good year. I think that it adds another lefty as well. We got 3 lefties, but I mean, we look at this team, the rotation, a little bit of high ERA, but been good for the most part. Bullpen looks really good. I mean, Jeff Hoffman's I'm going to move him back to the setup role, put Tanner Scott as the closer. Look at the offense. Willie Adames having a good bounce back year. Tristan Casas having a little bit of a down year. Ezekiel Duran not hitting for much power. Yoshida's having a good year again. Tyler O'Neill. I mean, a lot of these guys are hitting not a lot of power, but still having a pretty good year. So I'm going to keep this team as constructed again. And I know I haven't made like a lot of impactful moves the trade deadline per se, but I usually make a lot of moves before the trade deadline. And really, I just think this team has what it takes to win. I really do. I think we have all the pieces. We just added to the bullpen, so I'll see you guys in the playoffs. Hopefully Mike Trout can get out. And final regular season in the books. We won some awards. Corbin Burns won the Cy Young Award. So good to see that. Let's see everybody did. Yoshida, little bit of a down year, but still not horrible. Duran, another solid campaign for him. Mike Trout, even with the injury, gave us a 30 home run season. Rafael Devers, 39 home runs. Tristan Casas had a down year. Hopefully he can pick it up in the playoffs. Willie Adames bounced back tremendously. 30 home runs, 92 RBIs. Tyler O'Neill, another good season for him overall, 25 home runs. Connor Wong's been hitting pretty good for us in that catcher spot, providing a little bit of pop. Bobby Dahlbeck looks like he's settled into that DH spot. And then Abreu, another good season for him. Rafaela just hasn't hit for us. Just hasn't really. He hasn't had a lot of playing time. Just hasn't really hit. Romy Gonzalez, not a great year. Kyle Teal for a backup catcher, not bad. And so I'll take that. Let's take a look at the rotation. Corbin Burns was awesome again. 19-8, 3.35 ERA. Garrett Whitlock, a little bit of a down year for him. 3.57 ERA. Tanner Huck, ERA up a little bit, but still 18-7 record. Cutter Crawford, good bounce back compared to last year. And then Brian Bello gave us another good season in that fifth starter spot. Josh Winkowski was phenomenal. 54 innings pitched, 2.47 earned run average. Floyd Adleon, a little bit of a down year, but still giving us great innings out of the bullpen. Jorge Lopez was not great at all. Brennan Bernardino still giving us ERA around 3, this time under 3. Jose Quinjada was awesome, 1.62 ERA. Justin Slayton was not great. So Anthony Dominguez didn't pitch. And Tanner Scott was awesome in that close spot. Jeff Hoffman ended up getting injured. That's why you don't see him. He should be back at least in the first round of the playoffs. And we ended up finishing another 100-win season. Pretty much breezed past the division besides the Orioles. The Yankees have been a very disappointing team in this franchise mode. I thought they'd be the team that give us the most problems. So Jeff Hoffman's no longer injured. I don't know if I can add him to the playoffs. Okay, he's already on there. Cool, okay. So we're facing the Texas Rangers again. We faced them, I think, in the first season, I think the first season, the first round. So a rematch. We got home field advantage again. Let's see if we can finally win a World Series to finish off this franchise. We got to get our offense going, though. 2-run bomb by Langford, though, gets the Rangers the lead. Not a good start to this series. Corbin Burns giving up 3 runs already. We haven't even had a hit against DeGrom. Not good. Not good so far. There's a hit by Duran. Walk, pop-up, strikeout. Corbin Burns been going through a little bit. 9 hits to 5 innings. We cannot score against DeGrom again. There's a double by Devers. We finally get a run in thanks to Tristan Casas. Maybe one more innings out of Burns. So seven okay innings today. Not great. So we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to bring in Adleon here. Solo shot by Avisil Garcia. Makes it 4-1. So Brock Burke in the pitch. Single, fly out, walk, strikeout. 3 runs scored thanks to Connor Wong and a 2-run bomb by Bobby Dahlback. And the Rangers have completely melted down here in the bottom of the 8th. Unbelievable. But we got to close this game out. Let's see if Tanner Scott can do it. 3-run bomb by Avisil Garcia. And the Rangers have shocked the crowd here at Fenway Park. Unreal. Edwin Diaz in to close it out. Walk, single, fielder's choice, walk. 1-run scores. Tyler O'Neill sac fly ties the game. John Curtis gives up the winning run. And we take game 1. What a wild game 1. And then we lose game 2. 0-1. Wow. Okay, series tied 1-1. Tanner Huck on the mound against Jose Urquidy, former Astro. Let's see if Tanner Huck can give us another good performance here in the playoffs. There's a solo shot by Carter. Gets them a 1-0 lead. Can we get this game tied or get some runs on the board? Bases loaded. Doesn't get anybody home. Single, line out, walk, single, bases loaded. We have had bases loaded twice and just haven't been able to. There's a solo shot by Mike Trout. Ties the game up. Let's see if we can keep this game tied. We do. Single. Brock Porter in the pitch. Gets out of it. Walk. Fielder's choice. Walk. So it's time to take Tanner out. Let's bring in Jose here. Fielder's choice and a ground out. Good work there. Walk, double play, ground out. Got a couple righties. So Anthony Dominguez, strikeout, fly out, ground out. Both teams struggling here. So we're going to bring in Bernardino here. Error, 2-run score, another run score. So it's 4-1, top of the 9th. Edwin Diaz in the pitch. And he shuts us down here in game 3. So a do or die game 4 here. We lose, we go home in the first round, which is not what I want to see from this team. Brian Bello or Cutter Crawford? You know what? I'm going to go with Brian Bello. I think he's going to give us a good performance. I hope I'm right on that. So let's see. No runs in the first inning for either team. Brian Bello's been good in the first 2 innings. So is Dane Dunning. 2 singles in a row. 2-run bomb by Corey Seager, and it's 3-0 Rangers. We got to get our offense going here. We have been shut down here. 2-run bomb by Corey Seager. Another home run by Carter, and it's looking like our postseason is going up in flames right now. This is just embarrassing. Man, that is tough. There's a run. Another. Okay, we still got some life here. Winkowski's giving us some good innings. 3-run game, top of the 8th, single by Trout. And a double play. Man, that is tough. Top of the 9th, our season on the line. They're going to bring in Edwin Diaz to face Willie Adames, Tyler O'Neill, and Connor Wong. Strikeout, walk, line out, single, walk, and a strikeout. We are first round exits, and our postseason hopes go up in flames. The Rangers win the World Series again. Well, Red Sox fans, I apologize, y'all. I really thought this team could win a World Series. We added Mike Trout. I mean, you look at this team on paper, you would think, yeah, this is the World Series team. We just couldn't get the job done. And I apologize to any of you fans who thought, I could get the job done. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this franchise. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other channel, XNEWX Wrestling Podcast. If you guys are huge wrestling fans, make sure to check it out. We talk about a lot of topics every week. So check that out in the description. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.